NDIS support needs assessments. What are these and what do they mean for the sector and for participants? The way NDIS plans are built is fundamentally changing. Currently, participants will typically gather evidence, often that's allied health reports, occupational therapy, functional capacity assessments, have a planning review, and sometimes those documents will be taken into account, but we've certainly seen a lot from the media and politicians and across the department, the agency, noting that often they aren't even reviewed. From mid 2026, assessors from the NDIA, the National Disability Insurance Agency, will be using a tool called the ICANN to do an assessment, and an algorithm fundamentally will determine the supports and somebody's plan moving forwards. Many in the sector have concerns around an algorithm approach, especially when it is not known or publicly available how that calculation occurs and who reviews it and what the governance around that is. And if the outcome is not what is expected and humans, either the participant and those supporting the participant, clearly say, hey, this plan isn't suitable, what is that clear process and the timeline, importantly, of that process to have that reconsidered? And is there any way to have humans overriding that, or is it simply another ICANN assessment and another algorithm spitting out what that plan is? Considerations for the NDIS sector and providers is that we will likely see over the next 12 to 18 months a downturn in the requests for functional capacity assessments and extended plan review reports. Providers that are highly dependent on that type of work will see over time a decrease in that work as a provider at community therapy. I can speak for clinicians and a physiotherapist myself, is we don't want to be spending our time writing extensive reports, especially if people are not reading them. We want to be spending our time helping people, helping participants to build capacity and to live a more enriched and meaningful life, of hitting goals that they want to achieve and decreasing the impact that their disability may have on how they're living their life. I think the main concern that participants, families, the sector, providers, all of us as allied health workers have, coordinators of support, is just the transparency and change management of how these changes continue to work and roll out from the NDIA, as well as the continuation of negative media attention on the NDIS. The NDIS is a wonderful world-leading scheme of being able to provide support for people living with disabilities. Anyone that provides quite naive, negative comments on the NDIS typically doesn't have a lived experience of someone around them or themselves, family member, friend, living with a disability and having that impact their life and the lives around them. Everyone in the sector wants the NDIS to be sustainable. What we all also want is to make sure that we have smooth change management as we roll that out over time and continue to quality improve the governance of the scheme. As when changes do not involve participants and providers and are rolled out quickly, it impacts people's lives.